The red Canadian maple leaf flag is one of the most outstanding and recognizable national flags in the world. Its bold, 11-pointed maple leaf is iconic, instantly recognizable. As Canadian, the symbolism of its red maple leaf is so strong that, wherever you go, it's clear that it represents Canada. Today, we celebrate and honor 60 years of the Canadian maple leaf flag. But this video isn't just about the flag itself, it's also about the pride, patriotism and culture it represents, including the legendary Canadian Mounties, who, like the flag, symbolize Canada's strength and identity. But first, let's take a brief look at the history of how the red maple leaf flag all began. Before 1965, Canada's flag was the red ensign, which featured the Union Jack, a symbol of its British colonial past. However, as Canada grew more into an independent nation, there was a strong push for a unique flag that reflected Canadian identity, rather than the British heritage. In the early 1960s, Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson led the effort to create a new flag. His goal was to unite the country under a single, distinctly Canadian symbol, free from colonial ties. The Great Flag Debate in 1964 sparked national discussion, with over 3,500 designs submitted by Canadians. After months of debate, the government approved a simple but striking design, a single red maple leaf between two red bars on a white background. This design was chosen for its clarity, unity, and deep connection to Canada. The maple leaf had been a symbol of Canada for centuries, appearing in military insignia, coins and emblems. The red and white colors were already declared Canada's national colors by King George V in 1921. The adoption of the new flag was controversial at first. Many Canadians were proud of the red ensign and saw the removal of the Union Jack as a break from their British heritage. Some veterans and older generations opposed the change, believing it disrespected those who had fought under the old flag during the wartime. On February 15, 1965, the new flag was officially raised for the first time. While some Canadians celebrated, others protested. Some veterans at the ceremony refused to salute the new flag. The change took to gain full acceptance. Today, the red maple leaf flag is one of the most recognizable national flags in the world. It symbolizes Canada's values of peace, diversity and independence. It is proudly displayed at international events, on passports, and in celebrations like Canada Day. What once sparked heated debate has now become a beloved emblem of Canadian identity, and most Canadians wouldn't change it for anything. Since we now know the history of the maple leaf flag had all started, now let's move on to the analysis of the maple leaf flag and what its symbol and colors mean. Let's have a look at this Canadian flag. First off, in the center, it appears to be a bold solid red maple leaf with 11 points. The red maple leaf on the flag is supposed to resemble a sugar maple leaf, or also scientifically known as the Acer saccharum. The sugar maple is one of the most well-known maple trees species in Canada, famous for its vibrant red leaves in the fall and for producing maple syrup. The white area in the center of the flag resembles the land of snow. Canada is known for its long cold winters, and snow pretty much covers up the country for a significant part of the year, especially in the Canadian Rockies. The two red borders of the flag resembles of two oceans, the Pacific Ocean on the left, and the Atlantic Ocean on the right. So therefore, the flag resembles the map of Canada, as its red borders represent Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, and the white area with the red maple leaf represents the land of the snowy Rocky Mountains and the maple trees. Now we know how the Canadian maple leaf flag resembles and how it's designed like that. Let's move on to the next chapter to see what Canadian Mounties and their uniforms look like. Not only that the red maple leaf flag that strikingly stands for Canada's identity, there is also another iconic legend that is also strikingly red and stands out as well, which are the Royal Canadian Mounties. Let's learn what a Canadian Mountie is and what their uniforms look like. What is a Canadian Mountie? A Canadian Mountie is a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Canada's national law agency. They are known for their discipline, courage and commitment to upholding the law across the country. Now let's have a look at their uniforms and what they're for, from top to bottom. The broad-brimmed felt hat is called the Stetson hat. Some call it the campaign hat. The hat is light brown with distinctive pinch at the top. It is designed for providing shade and protection from falling objects or elements. The brilliantly bright red jacket, the most iconic part of their uniforms, is called the red tunic or the red serge. The Mounties' red tunic is also inspired by the British Royal Guards, which they're part of the British military or the Household Division. The Mounties' red tunic was chosen to reflect Canada's British heritage. Not only that the Mounties' red tunic reflects on the British heritage, their red tunic is also brilliantly red as the Canadian maple leaf flag, as we already just discussed about. When is the great time for the Mounties to wear their red tunic? Well, they wear their iconic red tunics on special occasions and ceremonies like parades, Canada Day and national events and diplomatic events. They also wear them for tourism and during the public relations events. And lastly but not least, they wear them during the musical rites, which it's a performance of synchronized horseback riding. On their tunic, the Mounties wear brown leather belts and cross straps to carry pistols or swords and other equipment while riding on horses. They wear a dark blue or black breeches, or pants, with a yellow stripe running downward. The yellow stripe represents the cavalry traditions. The brown leather riding boots are originally made for horseback riding. Today, they're mostly for ceremonial purposes. So why are they called the Mounties? First off, the name Mountie comes from the word mounted. Second, they were originally meant to be mounted on horses when patrolling on vast rugged landscapes of Canada. In the 1800s, the roads were scarce, so they had to use horses to cover long distances. Even though Mounties use cars, planes and other technology, the name Mountie has stuck to the symbolic tribute to their horseback riding origins. Over the years, the image of the Canadian Mountie has become legendary, not just in real life but also in popular culture. One of the most well-known and light-hearted portrayals is Dudley Do-Right, the cartoon Mountie who tries to do the right, sometimes with hilarious results. While he may be a comedic take on the real RCMP, Dudley Do-Right still represents the bravery, duty and unmistakable red uniform of the Canadian Mounties. For 60 years, the Canadian maple leaf flag has stood as the powerful symbol of pride, unity and identity. Its bold red and white colors, along with iconic maple leaf, represent the heart of Canada. But the flag isn't the only symbol that defines the nation. The Canadian Mounties, with their legendary red uniforms, also embody the values of duty, tradition and patriotism. Together, the maple leaf flag and the Mounties remind us of the rich heritage and deep-rooted spirit of Canada. As we celebrate this milestone, we honor not just the flag, but an entire culture that continues to inspire across the world. Happy 60th anniversary to the Canadian maple leaf flag.